Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. The 105 leFH18B2 that you can see in front of you right now is a special one because it belongs to the same player who actually took out a streamer with one shot from his M53, M55 a while back. Yes, we've got Firehawk0212 in the Tier 5 French SPG, the premium SPG, and he's on the southwest spawn of Arctic region. Game on. Okay, it's a 105 light field howitzer, 105 millimeters, a German gun, the leFH18B2. It's actually mounted on top of the Char B1, captured from the French, which makes this a Butte Panzer or prize Panzer, something that they've captured. This one has 50 rounds of ammunition. They increased the amount of ammunition for the PP a while back, but it still has the heat rounds and the armor piercing. And Firehawk has decided to mount both in the vehicle. He's now looking at T6 medium, rounds out. Left that one a little bit late, but he's backing up. Ooh, now I think he just saw a looks. Okay, Tier 4 German light tank trying to dash to get to the gap. He's managed to get down there, but we're lining up a shot on him. Okay, decided not to fire after that last encounter with the T6. And in fact, the T6 is now poking his head around the corner, and we're aiming for a Hetzer who's at the other end of the ice road. The standard reload for this Arty is 8.92 seconds. And I think we'll see how much he's got at the moment. It's 7.01, so he's actually reduced it a fair bit. He fires again at the T6 and just misses the rear of him, but the looks just went down. Rounds out on the T6. This time round he did hit him for 150. I don't think that T6 is going to last very long because there are teammates in the general area. You can see where he hit him, right on the upper plate. Yeah, that was a bit late. He's pulling back into cover now, so we've got no chance. Okay, well, we're looking for other targets. This Arty does have a fairly limited range. You have to be fairly close to the... Well, not fairly close, but you have to be a little closer to the centre of the map if you want to fire over the entire range of it. And he spotted a Panzer, or a Stug 312B up on top of the hill. Oh, he got a direct hit with his first shot. Now, let the aim settle. He moved himself forward without checking what he was doing first. Fires another round in. Is he still there? Yes! And he killed him with that shot. He looked away just as he started moving again. So we just got a flicker of the Stug appearing as a wreck. Yeah, we always like to see the damage done, so please don't look away after you shoot. Rounds out. Oh, T1 Heavy gets wiped out the moment he fires. So that shell was completely wasted. Right, over to the north, there are enemy tanks. In fact, there's none of our tanks on that route. And in fact, that actually is a bit of a danger because it means the only thing between us and the enemy is a Stug 312B who's up on the duck at the moment. So, yes, this is going to be a bit of a problem. He needs those bushes between him and the enemy, or he needs to change position and fast. Otherwise, the enemy's going to suddenly appear at the cap area, and he's going to have to defend it. We're only one tank down on the enemy at the moment. In fact, he's decided to be a bit sneaky and go into the dip, so the enemy won't see him. But if the enemy is seen by the Stug, then he'll be able to shoot at them. Instead, he's going for the Marder 38T. Now, that's a German tank destroyer based on the same hull as the Hetzer. It's the same 38T turret. Panzer 38T. Well, it's not the turret, actually. It's the same hull. Oh, lovely shot there. Takes out the Largo completely. That's probably a pen. He's got 53mm of pen. Is it 58mm pen? My eyes. Yep, 53. So most of the light tanks in this game, it is a tier 5 game with tier 4 tanks. He's going to be able to pen most of them and do severe damage to them. Well, luckily the M10 RBFM's decided to come back and defend the cap areas, so we've got him between us and the enemy, and that's encouraged Firehawk to actually come out of the dip and actually move a little further away so he can actually get shots on the enemy from amongst the trees. Okay, there's nobody on the southern route now. We do have a few tanks elsewhere. Got a Valentine 18 and Matilda trying to get up there, and well, yes, unfortunately they're coming across that M10 and Firehawk couldn't hit him because he's the other side of the rock face, only showing very little. Now he has spotted, that's a Samur, I think. Well, that one's gonna miss because yes, he aimed at the spot where it was, not where it is. That's the Samur SAU-40. Instead, he's aiming to the north. That's the what is it? A Valiant? It is a Valiant. Oh, lovely shot! 83 hit points from the first one, hits the engine deck. Go for it again. Rounds out. Another accurate shot, this time 98 hit points. One more to kill. Oh, zapped over the top of his turret. His life flashed before his eyes, and now he's gone. So only 2 kills now from Firehawk, but there's only 4 left on his team. And now there's 5 enemies because we just killed the Valentine AT. So M10 RBFM managed to come around the hill, or around the rock, and actually came up behind, and oh, lovely shot on the M10. That was probably a penetrating shot as well. SAU-40's gone up onto the hill, or the path running up to the mouse. He's fired around in, and that's better, and that's a direct hit. And I think that was a pen as well, possibly. It overwhelmed him. A Striv M42 finishes off our Matilda, I'm afraid, but can we get a shot at this guy? He's maneuvering to avoid Arty fire. Obviously, he knows how to play Arty. He knows that if he keeps maneuvering, he can throw us off. It's very difficult to get a long-range leading shot on a target which keeps changing course. And of course, you'd only know that if you were an Arty player, because then you'd know that you've got to waggle as much as possible, zigzag as much as possible to throw our shells off and avoid them. Okay, VK3001H creeping up to have a look. Rounds out, looks good. Oh, hits the rock face. RNG said no. He's more than likely going to come around that corner. He is running short on ammo now. He needs to be a bit more careful. He's only got 25 rounds left. That's half his ammo left. Most of it is the armor piercing rounds, the heat and the armor piercing. So he does need to be careful. He doesn't waste ammo. Well, he hit the wreck there, and there's the strip. So it's 3 against 2 now. The only person left on his team is the Stug 3 Aslains B, who's up on the duck. And he's come down from the duck, but he's trying to fend off the enemy who's coming down from the north, which means that the way is open for the enemy Striv and their VK3001H to come towards the cap. But if they do come towards the cap, they will be spotted, and then Firehawk will get a chance to shoot at them. The enemy Arty in this game is a Fifi, a 105 leFH18B2, but we did see where he was at the start of the game. He was outside range. He was hiding behind the bushes near the enemy cap area. And okay, we've got sight of the VK. He's spotted by the Stug. That's a lovely direct hit, and he's out. I think that overwhelmed his armor. More of a splash, even though it was a direct hit. I don't think it penned him, because the VK does have fairly good armor. Well, sort of. I say sort of, because it was one of the Tiger precursors. Okay, well, we're now waiting for the Striv M42 to come into sight. We're all alone now because, unfortunately, we lost the Stug 3 Aslains B. He did get taken out in the last exchange with the VK. So we're waiting for the Striv to come into range. The good news is that this Arty has a 390-meter view range. And from where he is, you can see most of the area directly in front of him is within his view sight. So, yeah, that Striv will appear, but probably just after he gets close to those rocks. We're looking a little short at the moment. Oh, there he is. He managed to creep up on us, and he has spotted us. We fire a snapshot into him and get a direct hit. And we've auto-aimed on. Let the gun settle. Yes! There's a top gun. He did get spotted. He did get 2 penetrations. Luckily, the Striv used only 8G, and those penetrations only amounted to 16 hit points each. Now, you can see that Firehawk carefully maneuvered there to avoid knocking anything down to give away his position. But it now means that the enemy Arty is the last enemy alive. He is full health, whereas we're not. So he's got one up on us. He also has 3 kills, so he's actually quite good. Now the question is, do we go to his cap or does he come to us? Well, that was a shell aimed at the back of the map. I'm pretty sure he still thinks we're over there somewhere. And that's where he's firing. And I also have the feeling that since we didn't see the tracer... Oh, no, that was a mistake. Since we didn't see the tracer, I think he's actually coming from the south. So he's actually coming... Well, not south, more the west, actually. Now, I have the feeling that Firehawk is taking a leaf out of somebody else's book. Yep, you saw him on the game yesterday, Brutus, or in one of our recent videos, Brutus Click, in his S51, covered the cap quite nicely from the bush to just to the north of here. No, he's decided I'm going to go back and defend it from this dip. You can get behind the bush. Now, we heard the rumble again, but we didn't see any tracer, which tends to make me think that the enemy Arty is actually at the other end of the map, not to the west of us, even though some are saying he is to the west. He is firing once every 10 seconds, and I think his shells are actually landing over at the back. Now, will that shot give us away? Well, no sixth sense has gone off, so obviously he didn't see us in any way. He might have seen the tracer. And there's the 2-minute warning. Now, knocking down the fence will give away where we were. I think Firehawks has it in mind to go look for the enemy and try and kill him with a shotgun. He does know how to do this, so this could be a game-winning move. Oh, he spotted him. Now, where is he? Oh, he's behind the rock. He did come close. Now, who gets the first shot? He does. But look at that. Wins the game with 1 round. Yep, he took a hit from an armor-piercing round, but he fired an HE back and took the guy out altogether. Well, even though this was a Tier 5 game, it was an ace tanker game for Firehawk0212 in the 105 leFH18B2. Nearly always you have to get either a Tier 6 game or a Tier 7 game if you want to get an ace tanker in this RT, so you're hitting higher tier opponents. But no, he did so much damage to the enemy in this game. He actually earned an ace tanker at Tier 5 with Tier 4 tanks. He got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 15. He got a Starks medal. Yes, he took 2 hits from the enemy, lost 2/3 or potentially 2/3 of his hit points during the process, and still managed to survive and win the battle after killing at least 2 enemy vehicles. And on top of that, he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. He actually ended up with 7, just 1 tank shy of a Radley Walters. But sadly, there wasn't enough enemy left to do that. His win rate was 6,512. This was a real heartbeater one right at the end. I think they proximity spotted both of themselves at the same time because they got so close. And it was thanks to Firehawk moving forward to find the enemy that he managed to snatch a victory away from a potential draw and win it for his team. And a fantastic shot with an HE round. I think he actually got that right through the enemy Fifi whilst he fired an armor-piercing round. And even though Firehawk had low hit points left, the armor-piercing round wasn't enough to finish Firehawk off, whereas his HE round with a 410 alpha was more than enough to take out the enemy Fifi, and he did so in style. Great game. Let's have a look at the team score and see where everyone is. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game, but that went to the M10 RBFM on his team, who got a high caliber and 2,219 hit points of damage. He must have been watching the game with extreme concern that it was all going to go wrong, because after all, think about it, he was facing 3 opponents, 2 opponents at one point. No, well, 3 opponents if you include the VK. But he managed to finish off all 3 enemies, get rid of them. When the second highest damage in the game went to the T1. No, it didn't go to the T1. It was the enemy Fifi. Sorry, I'm getting that wrong. It's Heshi Hater. He managed to get 1,907 hit points of damage. He did more damage than Firehawk. So he's obviously a very good Arty player. He picked up a Confederate in that game. And the third highest damage went to the T1 Heavy with 1,767, which means that, yes, Firehawk0212 was actually in 4th place on damage with 1,739. When it came to kills, though, he definitely got the highest with 7. The next highest being the Striv M42, got 4 kills. 3 kills went to the T1 Heavy and the Fifi on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, yep, Firehawk got that one as well. So 2 out of 3. 1,081 base experience points, 1,066 went to the M10 with the high caliber, and they were the only 2 players who managed to get over 1,000, with the next highest base XP being the T1 Heavy with 837. He fired 32 rounds in that game, got 11 direct hits on the enemy and 6 penetrations. Yeah, I was counting them. I think he was just about penetrating most of the enemies he was actually firing at. We'll have a quick look and see. Yes, he did pen that SAU-40 with that very long-range shot. It did seem to come over the top. He didn't pen the Stug. He did pen the VK. He did pen the M10. And yes, he penned the Striv M42. I got that wrong. I thought that was a splash, but yes, it was an actual pen. He didn't pen the Valiant. That's got very thick armor. And yes, he did pen the Leffy on the enemy team. 1 round, 340 hit points went straight through him and killed him outright to win the game. And the last one was he penned the Largo. Yes, he got a nice shot at very long range on the Largo and took him out of the game. Let's have a look at the detail. 10 splash, 1,739 hit points of damage, of which 862 were at more than 300 meters. The difference being some of the close range shots like the Striv M42, the VK, and of course the Fifi, a very close range. 3 hits received, 1 penetration. That was from the, I think that was from the Fifi actually, yes. The armor piercing round at very close range. And 2 hits by way of splash damage, and both of them came from the Striv M42. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, that was the Fifi. 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 7 killed, 150 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 46,808 credits from the game, got 40,000 for completing a mission, 86,808 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, he took away a profit of 61,684 credits. He got 25 bonds out of that game, so he must have been his 3rd win of the day, or the mission completion. 1621 base XP, or not base, but you know what I mean, premium base. Times 3 for the first victory, 649 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 5,513 experience points altogether. What a fantastic game that was. Yeah, played only 2 days ago. Firehawk sent it in. I think he lost the replay or something, or I'm not sure. But yes, he finally found the replay and sent it in to us. And oh, we're very glad that he did, because that was a very exciting battle, especially at the end. And it just goes to show sometimes choosing the armor-piercing round is not a good idea. If he'd actually fired the armor-piercing round back at the enemy Fifi, he would have reloaded and killed Firehawk with his next round. Whereas, or may have even killed Firehawk with his first round. Because after all, Firehawk had already lost some hit points to the Striv M42. So fabulous game there by Firehawk. Well done. If you enjoyed that replay, please give the video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.